Okay, so Sensei Pond here again from KV Karate. This is the first lesson for the adults, and it's all about stances and review of stances. So whenever we do that, we call that touch kata, okay? T-A-C-H-I, touch kata. And that's the review of stances. So obviously, I'm using this cross as a visual aid, and this is something that you can do at home, and it's designed to give you a visual reference point, because it's very important to have a reference point with all of our stances. There's a relationship in the geometry of all these stances. So, hei sokudachi, straight, heels touching, the balls of your feet inside, ball of your feet touching. Musubidachi, 45 degrees to the outside edge of your feet, okay? And then heikodachi, which is parallel stance to the center of your stance. Generally put your heels right below your hips, okay? So if my feet are angling out, that's too far. So heikodachi is parallel leg, parallel feet, so it's right under your hips. From there, we go to soto ashidachi, and it's important again to have 45 degrees to the outside of your feet. And then the uchi hachidachi, where you pivot on the balls of your feet and you set your heels down. So uchi hachidachi, once you arrive at this stance, it has an impact on the stances that come after it. So from uchi hachidachi, we simply pivot our heels out, and we're in shikodachi. And I would encourage each of you to measure that. Try this exercise and measure that. Because what happens when we go from here right down to shikodachi, sometimes we go too wide. When we're doing a kata, we're getting enthusiastic, and we put more into it than need be, and we overextend our stances. So the purpose of this training exercise is to become familiar with foot placement in these stances. So when you go from uchi hachidachi to shikodachi, this is a very important stance. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to mark my heels with this tape so that you can see the relationship here. It's very important that this distance, say the inside of my heels, remains the same. So this marks the inside of that heel, this marks the inside of this heel. And the last time I measured myself, it was about 22 inches. And everybody's template is a little different, but in this stance, obviously the knees are over your toes, the inside of the big toe, toenail. And from here you pivot to seisandachi. So seisandachi, shikodachi, it's the same heel length. So when you go from shikodachi to seisandachi, we're on an angle. If I was to take the front of this foot, go up one, it should line up with the heel of this one, okay? So that's the geometry of the stance. Okay, so from shikodachi, turn, there's 1 foot width, and then my heel toe line up. It's no different than going from here, 1, 2, and over for seisandachi, okay? So from here, turn this way, 1 foot should line up, and that's the relationship with the heels. It's all about where your heels are. So oftentimes we will do things like in soto ashidachi, we'll do a side kick, and we'll put our foot down in shikodachi, except it's way long, way deep. So it's important that you know your template, and you use tape in your basement or your garage or in your driveway with chalk. Try this out. Mark the floor. This is also an exercise you can do with seisandachi. So in seisandachi this way, I'll use the cross here. It's 1, 2, and over, shoulder width apart, so that what I do for my template is the outside edge of my shoulders to the outside of my heel, and my armpit inside to the inside of my heel is roughly what I do. And it's a little different based on your body type. So it's a template, you try to follow it as closely as you can, but it will vary. So in this case, the back tape, cross tape, is my heel, and I'll measure to this heel, and then I'll step, and I'll mark this heel. So the challenge that I'm going to give you is to try this and see how similar they are when you look at them, measure the distance, then go back to the start and do something like kick. If I land way out here, I'm not pulling my foot back. I need to land here. So kick, set your foot down. So I want you to try that. Take and use it to measure the length of your stance. Every time we kick, we should come back down to the length of stance that we would have in our template. You can do that with seisandachi. You can do it with soto ashidachi, side kick. Put your foot down, measure that. You can do it in shikodachi. So if this is shikodachi, and this distance is the same, and this heel distance is the same in seisandachi, that means you should be able to go from seisandachi to shikodachi, and those distances are the same. These distances here, okay? So that's my challenge for you, to practice your stances. Go from heisokudachi, musubidachi, heikodachi, soto ashidachi, uchi ashidachi. Get your stance marked, go to shikodachi, and then switch to seisandachi. Once you are comfortable with that, then try moving, stepping forward and back. Seisandachi, and then go to shikodachi. They should be the same. The heel length in shikodachi, stepping forward and back, should be the same as if you were going heel to heel in seisandachi. Okay? So that's your homework. You can try that at home. All right? Have a good day, be safe, and we'll talk to you next time. Thanks.